Well, here, let me at least tuck
I'm
my
here
shirt
with
in.
John Kay. I'll edit that part out.
Yeah.
On his bench, this is his bench that he's had for, I don't know, 30 years since I've known him or so.
At least.
In his home office. And he's got our receiver here and he was just articulating to me the work that he's done restoring our old receiver that we had since 1968, 69, whenever Deed brought it, or Mr. Williams brought it, Dr. Williams, over to the house. Okay.
Okay, so what we did basically is take it apart, get a disassembly cleaning, pull the faceplate off, pull all the inner plates off, replace all the dial lamps, all the indicator lamps, clean and lube all the control surfaces, clean and lube the tuner surfaces. So when everything goes back together, it's as cosmetically as pristine we can get. New weather stripping that's used in and around the dial and in and around the selector knobs to keep light bleed from going out.
Yeah.
We've gone through and we've aligned the FM section in it, which amazingly for an old tuner, it's got a tremendous FM section,
Which is here.
which is right here.
Yeah.
It uses ICs for amps. This is cutting edge for the time. ICs instead of straight transistors. We've replaced a lot of the original capacitors, as you can see. And these are the big cans I was showing you here, John. There's 4 of them. By going to a higher voltage can, we maintain the 35 millimeter diameter. So these mount properly. Completely rebuilt the amplifier boards. We had to do some changes and modify a bias diode, which we fabricated a spacer and a new diode in here in order to get it to function. Just a lot of TLC and trying to bring the thing up to where it needs to be. John and I, we just ran through, inspected on the scope, looked at total output, looked at THD, total harmonic distortion. We changed a couple of the output transistors to a newer style, which we're actually getting lower THD on, so we're going to change the other channel as well to these Japanese devices, Toshiba manufactured, which is exactly what came in here, except these are about 15 years newer technology.
And when you opened it up, you found the schematic at the bottom of the...
Yeah, the original schematic was in a paper folder, which is in a little pouch on the bottom of the unit, and this is what came with it originally, Sansui 5000 schematic, which I have used this a lot in the process of going through and restoring this device. So we've made a 45-year-old unit probably about as close to new as possible. It works excellent. The cosmetics are extraordinary. It's got just some minor hairline scratches on it, which are nothing for a unit of this age. Let me get some light on this subject here, my friend. And hopefully my little brother John uses this, because if he doesn't, I'll probably
He's gonna repossess
I'll
it.
probably kill him for the amount of work that's gone into this project.
He'll repossess it.
But at any rate, it's nearing completion.
So every time we have a family dinner or Thanksgiving, we'll take... Oh, I brought the 8-track tape player, which I've got to plug back into this, and the turntable, which is here somewhere.
Yeah, the turntable. Here, let's take a look at the turntable if you want to continue this.
Yeah, I'm continuing. We're at 3 minutes right now.
I'm going to shut this off, and I'm going to just move it up here. The turntable is in process too, and turntable is highly mechanical.
Yeah.
So let me grab the turntable. I don't know why I kept those caps other than just to show you what we replaced. The turntable is out of the base. The wood base has been cleaned, touched up, and I've given it a couple of coats of oil. Here's the actual turntable itself. We gave this an extensive cleaning. Installed a new belt. I took the center spindle apart, completely flushed it out, used synthetic oil when I put it back together. It's a bushing that rides on a ball bearing. Went through the motor, went through the underneath of it. But it's amazing how nicely this thing all freed up as far as, I mean,
running like a champ.
Tone arm, very free, the gimbals, a lot of movement in them. Just years and years of crud built up in this, and the mechanics as well. So there's quite a bit going on underneath this turntable. This was given pretty high ratings on the blog. I mean, you think it's just a motor and a belt, but this has a magnetic sensor to detect end of record, a circuit that works with it, and a solenoid. So at the end, what happens is it automatically lifts the tone arm and shuts the motor mech and the level off. So it's semi-automatic. in that it does have auto shut off. All this circuitry here is just for the auto shut off. 4-pole hysteresis synchronous motor, variable voltage transformer for use in the country and overseas. This big cap is the cap that drives the solenoid. And you can see a variety of micro switches and levers and whatnot. All this has been taken apart, cleaned, lubricated, greased with the proper oil and whatnot. And we're still waiting to look for some parts for it that we're missing. There's a lateral weight here, and then there's a anti-skate weight that runs on the smallest piece of fishing line
that used to hang
yeah.
on there. Yeah.
So that is important, actually. That lets the tone arm balance between the two grooves on the record. Otherwise, what's going to happen is inertia is going to want to draw the tone arm in. And so what that does is that acts as a counterbalance to balance the stylus. But it's coming along nicely. And again, this was given some pretty good reviews. It's a well-built unit. Build quality's good.
I'm out of here.
Okay.
So
Here's a kiss, hello.
8-track tape, TBA. So
Yeah.
well,
I bought the 8-track online. Supposedly it's in perfect working order. We're going to test it out now.
yeah.
Okay, guys. See ya.